In this lesson, we're going to talk about iframes, which is the kind of frames that people actually use these days. The other kind of frames we've been talking about for the rest of this chapter, those frames that divide up the screen into different areas, very few people are actually using those anymore. You don't see them a lot on the internet anymore. They tend to mess up the search engines, and so people don't get a lot of traffic, and they also tend to mess up the users. They're hard to navigate. The back button doesn't always do what you expect it to do, and so people don't like them, and they don't use them very much. The iframe, on the other hand, is actually very useful, and people use them quite often. They're usually used to display some bunch of stuff that you don't want taking up a lot of space on the screen. You see here we have this standard disclaimer. So you'll see a privacy policy there, or terms and conditions, or something like that they have to have on the screen for legal reasons usually, and that they don't necessarily need to take up a lot of real estate with. And so that's what they're. And just for a little bit of extra fun, here in the exercise files you'll find my standard disclaimer. And one year I just sort of collected all the disclaimers I found on box tops and things and stuck it in there. It's kind of fun to look at if you enjoy such things. In any event, here is the iframe document. It's very simple. You see it uses the normal XHTML transitional DTD. The doc type is the normal one that we've been using. We don't have to have a special doc type for that. It has, all the normal XHTML that you might find. It's got this H1 tag and the P tag and all of that. And here it's got an iframe tag, and this iframe tag has a begin tag and an end tag. It's a block element, and it has its content, whatever you want to have display for browsers that don't support the iframe. And then it's got a source attribute where you specify the file, and it has width and height, a little bit of style information here to create that nice little border around it, and that's it. And then it pulls up this other XHTML file, iframe content, and this is what goes inside the box. And you see that we have that sourced with the source attribute. It tells us where to find that. And that's this file here, which is just a normal XHTML file. You notice it's got the normal transitional doc type at the top, and it has a little bit of style information there. And then it has the heading, iframe content. Or that's the title, iframe content. And that doesn't actually display anywhere here, but that is required by the standard. And so we go ahead and put that in. And then it's got a body, and it's got this heading. This standard disclaimer is the heading, and then it has these paragraphs. This product is meant for educational purposes only, blah, 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 and that goes down in here. You notice that this is an actual frame and an actual file. I can select with my right mouse button. I can say, let's show only this frame, or open it in a tab. It opens it in a tab. There's that title, and there's the whole document there. And so that's how you make an iframe. You'll need to do that if you need to display some disclaimer or some legalese that you have to have on your web page. You don't want to have it take up a lot of screen real estate. You use the iframe tag, and you use the source attribute and whatever other attributes you need. And there it is. It displays in that nice little handy box with a nice little handy scroll bar so that people can look at it if they're inclined to do so.